Well, I think it's a wonderful day for me today to be here and share with you the excitement of, in some sense, a new beginning in Chennai, but also just another leg of a long journey, 18 years, growing steadily across so many countries, so many cities, under the visionary leadership of the CEO. I was very fortunate, and it was a pleasant meeting when we met in July. And I was excited to hear about his plans to come here, particularly this year as you're getting ready to go public and scale the business even further. As I mentioned then, and I mentioned now, we are always excited to have thought leaders and companies that are hailed as good places to work to come to Chennai. I mean, at some level, we're happy for almost any kind of job, but some jobs we are more excited about than others. And in this case, I think what we like about MOURI Tech is not just about these jobs or this facility or the ones you'll scale to, but the fact that you will raise the average kind of engineering and innovation talent of the whole ecosystem here. As we talked about multiple times, at one point, Tamil Nadu and Chennai used to be the pioneers going back to the late 90s, and then for various reasons we fell behind. But we have some incredible advantages. We have, I think, something like 16% of all engineering graduates in India come every year from Tamil Nadu. We have decent infrastructure. We have a lot of tier 2 cities. We have, scalable population, and we have, undersea cables that connect us to the world out of Chennai. So I think we see these next couple of years, while the industry itself is in flux, while there's a lot of shift away from more routine roles towards AI, towards deep technology, towards fintech. We think this is a chance for us to reclaim some of the momentum. And at some level, I don't see it as competition because, as I say, many times, the global demand for these kinds of advanced engineering and innovation and design services is so huge, particularly with the narrowing of investment in China, that there's more than enough to go around. We can all be successful and all grow at the fastest rates we ever have and still not be crowding each other out. So I'm delighted to be here as part of your opening day. I'm sure that this will be one step of many that you're going to take here. We as a state, on behalf of my Chief Minister, my government, we're very excited and thankful that you have chosen to put your office, sixth one in India, here in Chennai. I know that you will grow by leaps and bounds, and we are here to help you and do whatever we can to facilitate that. And I wish you all great careers here, and I wish the company much success. Thank you for having me.
That was fantastic. Thank you very much, sir. So, with your permission, before we just go to this, the success celebrations. So, to make it more interactive, can we have our associates interacting with you with one or two questions? So, time, guys. So, get up. So, people from Chennai who have been just requesting and looking at the expansions, anything that you have in your mind, or can we pick? I can come.
Vanakkam, sir. Uh, Sir, been a staunch supporter of you and your ideologies for decades now. Been an inspiration. Thanks for that. So when our CEO said that you are coming to here, and my joy was out of the bounds. He knows it. So I'm very happy to be here in person because I've seen you in Twitters and all your debates. To talk with you is an immense pleasure. Thanks for that. So my question here is, I know that you have taken this IT portfolio right now, and we very well know that your strategies are going to help our companies, private companies, tech companies flourish. But how can we, as private companies, help you assist in your IT goals, in states' IT goals?
Yeah, I think I'll be a bit candid. Governments do, maybe they do a few things well, but there's a lot of things that governments don't do well, right? And innovation and transformation is not inherent to the nature of government. So we expect people to partner with us and to show us the way in some cases. I was recently, in fact, when I met the CEO, I was in Hyderabad. My good friend Ram, the IT minister, the KTR, had very kindly hosted a whole lot of us, about 6 or 7 people from the IT department, and showed us what all they had been doing. And it was not normal, but also not shocking that of the entire IT initiatives in Telangana, 400 plus employees across Innovation Hub and model building and training and fiber and cyber security. All the employees were private sector employees. There was like one IS officer, and the rest of them were all, because I think that's the nature of the industry. It is changing all the time, and people also want to do different things. Very few people, kind of expect to spend 30 years in the same company or 30 years climbing some kind of bureaucratic ladder. So I think in this field in particular, the nature of government is status quo. The nature of the industry is dynamism, keeps changing all the time. So in IT, in transformation of both the way the government works, but mostly about how the government interacts with citizens. I think there's a huge opportunity for IT. This philosophy was already my philosophy when I was finance minister. I refused to allocate money for new buildings, either for government buildings or for kind of collector offices and stuff like that, because I felt that having citizens interact with government officers was almost always more negative than positive, right? All kinds of barriers, all kinds of rent seeking, extortion, all kinds of these things. So the more we can make the functioning of government straight through online, of course, there's some people who won't be able to get access, but a place like Tamil Nadu has much less of that problem because of our relative economic development, relative penetration of smartphones, relative urbanization. So my best guess is that we will need to have a lot of innovation and a lot of it coming from private sector and startups, people who are on the cutting edge. We already do some. When I was finance minister, we started an initiative called Sell to Government Days. So we find all the startups who are interested in pitching solutions to the municipal administration department or the civil supplies department or the health department, and we have some kind of a pitching day where the government officers can pick one of these or more of these, and we give them a waiver from the normal tender rules. Otherwise, in government, to avoid corruption, you have all these transparency in tender where you have to put it to bid. But if you're a startup or an innovator, you don't have to go, because by the definition of you being innovator, there's not 6 other people like you. So those programs which I had started then, I think have fallen a bit behind in speed, but we'll ramp those up a lot. And we are certainly looking for both advisory, for facilitation, for innovation. In fact, I think shortly I'm going to announce a kind of outreach program from the government where all the people in tech across all specializations, we're going to ask you to register both in India and outside. If you want to help the government in some way, register into a database. So we know when we have to formulate policy on X, who can we call? When we have to reach company Y, who's the senior person there? So basically to work together to get a better outcome. So we're hugely relying on non-governmental resources, and especially people in the industry, and especially people in advanced companies like yours. There's a big role, and we'll be surely tapping you very quickly.
Okay, maybe considering this time zone, so really appreciate your time. Thanks for that. Maybe one more last chance. Anybody? This can be your the wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for being here with us today. My name is Vijay, part of the team here. One quick, what we wanted to learn from you is what have you envisioned when you took over the some of these portfolios? What are the guidances that you feel that each one of us can take it from our side?
So this is a vast portfolio. Actually, that's the problem. For me, it's taken me. I mean, long ago I was an engineer and did operations research and interface design and all that, but that seems like a lifetime ago. I spent a lot of years in finance. So when I took over as finance minister, it was very easy transition for me because I had been a banker, trader, Wall Street, and even as an opposition MLA, I had been the lead speaker on budgets and all that. But in some sense, that's easy because it's administrative, right? You use your pen and the job is done. Now you come to this field. And here, at least compared to other states, we even have a larger portfolio because in this department we run the only state I think that runs a cable TV business. We have a cable TV business. We have all the electronic service centers, service centers. We have the Tamil Nadu Fiber Net, which is part of BharatNet project. We have a Tamil Virtual Academy, which we used to promote Tamil across the world and also to set standards. We run the archaeology and cultural artifacts kind of library or repository. We have huge number of IT parks, and we have now announced tech cities, which means like Gurgaon, we'll develop altogether, complete ecosystem in private-public partnership of, special tech cities from infrastructure to social services, basically. And we have the e-governance agency and, all the family databases and so forth, and the standards for cybersecurity. So it's a huge scope. The problem is that we are 10, 15, 20 years behind, right? In many cases, I used to be a corporate employee at large banks. The minimum security, procurement, hosting standards that were evident 20, 30 years ago, we are still kind of trying to figure out our way. So I would say, in my mind, I see this as kind of the figuring out the framework phase. It's taken me a few months because it's a large state, it's a large economy, it's a big government. I think we have 1 million plus government employees in 10 lakh plus, and our annual budget is about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 lakh crores, including interest payments. So all of this really ought to be in some way touched by technology, right? I mean, there's nothing in the world these days that's not in some way touched by technology. So very quickly, I think in the next few months, we will basically now put together the action plans. It takes a lot of time to figure out where you are, what is the lay of the land. Now we have that. And I'm sure there will be significant amounts of commercial transactions that we'll want to do with companies who can actually come in and do the service for us. I'm starting at the basics. I'm saying right now, we're taking surveys. What are all the government websites that are up and running? What level of functionality and security do they have? What was the intent when they were set up this side? This side, what all government applications are there? Are they internal applications for only government employees? Are they external applications that the public can access? Where are they hosted? Some are hosted in our data center, some are hosted on the cloud, some are hosted by that department with servers in their building. Right? I mean, it's just a whole range of things. So cleaning this up and bringing to some homogenization is going to take a lot of work. Part of the things we are trying to figure out is whether we should do this kind of two-step. The government first gets everything ready for standardization, then we get a partner and we go. Or whether we should do it, get a partner and have the partner help us go through the actual transformation, because transforming something this large and this archaic is not a simple, let me put it another way. If the government has to get ready, it'll take us 2 years. Then maybe somebody can help us transform in 1 or 2 years. Maybe if we get the right partner, we can collapse that period into altogether only about 18 months or something, because they can bring a lot more talent to bear that is arm's length from the process and can help us with the transformation. So that's really where we're at now.
Thank you very much, sir.